Unfortunately, I have to leave it at that. We are getting some breaking news now. We've been told that 2 CRPF men have been injured in Bijapur in Chhattisgarh. And prima facie, this looks like a pressure IED that was responsible for the injury after the IED really, in fact, blasted is when the 2 CRPF men sustained those injuries. And we've also been told that the injured have now been airlifted to Raipur. My colleague Arunima is joining us with all the latest on this story. Arunima, what more are you learning? 2 CRPF men injured in Bijapur. Pressured IED is what is being suspected as responsible for the injuries. What really has happened? What are you learning about it?
The CRPF has not come on record yet to tell us whether this was an operation which had been undertaken. What is, just to try and explain to you how the pressure IED works.
Yeah.
Often Naxals on the sides of the main roads or even slip roads put in pressure IEDs, and if you step on them just by your weight, they can be triggered. So where they're just walking towards an operation and by mistake they stepped on one of the pressure IEDs, that detail is still awaited. But what we can confirm is the injury to these 2 CRPF men, and a chopper has been dispatched from Raipur, should be reaching Bijapur any moment now so that they can then be airlifted. The very fact that they are being airlifted tells you that the injury is very severe and the injured Jawans are critical.
And do we know about the identities of the 2 CRPF personnel who've been injured, Arunima?
Yes, they're Jawans from the CRPF Battalion posted in Bijapur. There are, a combination of forces there in this particular area. There's, of course, the specialized Cobra. There is the 83rd Battalion of CRPF as well, and there is the local police. But these two, what is not clear is whether this was a road opening party, whether this was some kind of an operation on which there were more people. Are there only 2 who are injured, or there are more? Those details are still awaited from CRPF. We'll come back to you as soon as we hear from them officially.
And finally, Arunima, one more question that I want you to understand, help our viewers understand, is that this is not the first time that such an instance is really happening, and also from that same belt. The last time around, we'd seen how there were 2 parties of vehicles, of police vehicles that came under attack. And today we are also learning about this pressure IED. We still do not know, as you mentioned, whether it was, an operation that the CRPF personnel was going into, and that's when this incident really happened. But considering the fact that this area becomes notorious for such instances, what are the authorities really saying about doing something about it?
Well, if you ask the security grid, they would call this the last bastion of CPI Maoists. Earlier, they were even in the Dantewada town, but now they have been limited to Bijapur, Sukma, parts of Dantewada in Chhattisgarh area. So this is their last bastion. Multiple camps of CRPF have been opened here. Camps basically mean area domination. You don't clear Naxals out of that area, but you stay put there, not allowing them to come back. And then you take government facilities like schools, Anganwadi, health centers, so that the local tribals then start interacting with government and are taken away from the CPI Maoist, brainwashing mechanism that goes on. So this team of CRPF was also posted there. And if you ask the security grid, they would say that this is a risk that comes with the kind of operation that you're undertaking, because there will be pushback from the Naxals. Planting these pressure bombs, planting these IEDs is part of their pushback.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Arunima.